Brodes Media.
Talk is cheap. You know, they get to come back in the link. There was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what if, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that up and prove it again.
Let's go, baby! We've been waiting for this Football Friday since the day we saw the schedule, since the date was marked down on the calendar that the worst fan base in the history of sports, the San Francisco 49ers, were coming to town. They are the worst, they are jerk-offs, and I can't wait to beat them into the ground. Hassan Reddick's ready, and the 49ers are throwing around fighting words. Okay, when their quarterbacks that they beat is Pickett, Daniel Jones, Dobbs, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford on that Rams team this year, which is nothing important. All right, those are the quarterbacks. You haven't seen Jalen Hurts. You haven't seen this offense. You haven't seen this offensive line. You have not seen them this season when you're throwing fighting words, calling out Bradbury, and, Deebo Samuel. Come on, man. You're not lighting the world on fire, okay? You're not putting up stats like A.J. Brown. You're sort of a gadget guy. That's what you are. When you're a gadget guy, you don't blab. You don't run your mouth. You don't talk that talk. You're not good enough to do that. You're not a special player enough to do that. And that will bite you in the ass because you know this team's going to be inspired. I think I'm crying. I don't know if you can actually see this, but there's a tear dripping out of my eyeball socket because I'm that excited. I'm that emotional thinking about this football game. You threw around fighting words, okay, calling Bradbury trash. That is so disrespectful. It's unbelievable. Now, if you feel that way, fine. And kudos to you for not backing down. What I'm about to say, though, is real. When you do that, you better be ready for the repercussions. I'm just saying. You better be ready for the answer and the response, because this team isn't going to go down just because some guy is talking that talk. That's not what happens here. This team has a vision of going to win a damn Super Bowl. This team has a group inside that locker room that you don't break. If anything, it brings them closer together when they deal with this nonsense. No matter what professional high road Bradbury took, no matter what Sirianni says is sort of the message for this week, this team's different than last year's team. I don't care what they do to inspire them to go kick ass. I'd imagine they bite into it a little bit because it's free. It's bulletin board material that you don't have to run away from. Sometimes you have to dig deep and find, okay, what can I do this week? What can I sell them this week? What can I leech onto this week? This one's very simple. This one's very basic. Sometimes I say in hockey that after a first period goes wrong, right? Sometimes the coach doesn't have to go in there and even say anything after the first period's over to get them ready for the second. They know what they did wrong. It was that eye-popping. It was that, appealing. Maybe not appealing, but it's that noticeable. Does Sirianni even have to do anything? Or let it run its course? Hassan's clearly up to the challenge. And everyone's going to have Bradbury's back. I think they might even be more aggravated than he is. Although, like I said, he's not taking the kick below the belt card. He's staying as steady as a pro can stay during a time like this. The more and more I thought about it, because around Wednesday, this has been an Eagles-Niners week all Brodes Media long. There was an Anytime Hotline text message that popped up in the last Wednesday show. And they were asking, is there more for the 49ers, emotionally speaking, because they were the ones to lose in the NFC Championship game, so they have more to prove. They have more to show. They have more behind them and more of a push because they know what they thought they should have won. And I could see why you say something like that. But at the end of the day, I don't know if that's enough when you have a locker room as wired as the Eagles' locker room is. That stuff's all cute. All that side noise and off to the edge and whatever's going on that's off the football field. When you have a real team with the proper motor and the proper leader, I don't think you chew on that the same way. It doesn't mean it's irrelevant and you don't use it as bulletin board material at all, but there's a different way to bite into it when you don't have that makeup. I don't think the 49ers have that real, legitimate Kyle Shanahan leadership, quarterback leadership. I don't think they do. And quite frankly, when they're down, the statistics tell you that. They don't know how to come back from behind. They don't know how to explode when they're down. That's a trait that's extremely important. Do the Eagles have to perform better out of the gate? No doubt about it. And I'd be extremely disappointed with this matchup if it's the very same as it's been. And there's two ways to look at it. Brodes, this is who they are, so get it together, be prepared. Or there's no way with this talent that can keep up forever. Brian Johnson definitely flips the script in the second half. There's real substance to how much they tear apart other teams in the second half. Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts do it together. There is a tandem. Can they get DeAndre Swift going in the run game? That will be fascinating. Their front in their defensive line is crazy. We're going to see Hargrave and get the taste of being on the other side. Bosa, their acquisition of Chase Young. With that, though, we have a spectacular offensive front that should give Jalen Hurts plenty of time to make plays out there. Let's see if A.J. Brown can get back to his 100-plus yard show. If they feel the way that we feel right now as a fan base, if that group and that core have the same type of feeling in their gut that I have listening to some garbage clips of 49ers fans running their mouth, saying, bring it on, all that crap and slop. If they feel whatever I'm feeling and they reach their max capacity, which I don't expect them not to, then, dude, they're going to do it. They're at home. They're at the link. They're going to do it. And the crazy part, thinking about this you're an underdog story, is that means that the Vegas odds are saying if this was in San Francisco, the 10-1 Eagles are close to a touchdown underdog. Right? I mean, seriously. The standard is when you're home, you're a 3-point favorite. For the 49ers to be the favorite, if this is at home for San Fran, you're a touchdown underdog? I've never seen so much disrespect in my life. I think they might lean into that more so than anything the 49ers are saying specifically, but I don't know. They'll probably use all of it because that's what these teams do.